Oh, didn't see you there. Just making a sandwich. Now this turkey, I was quite skeptical of it. I bought it because it was cheap, but it says here, premium without the price. Real turkey breast. All right, yeah, sure, bud. Open it up. It really smells and tastes like real turkey. Has all the texture and all that stuff. It's just like you get at your mother's place on Thanksgiving. Or should I say, what I get at your mother's place every day. And here we are, gentlemen, another day. Didn't get done with this or do anything really last night. A little bit too much of that in brewskis. Anyway, so we're going to start and get this gauge cluster replaced with the one with the tachometer because this clock is just useless. I mean, it works, but why would you want a big clock there? Anyway, so when I bought this, I was picking it up, and the lady said, you know, I'm even going to let you keep that high-end stereo that's in it. And I said, ooh, really? And she said, yeah. And I said, sure. All right, and welcome to the house, actually. We're not in the shop because it's cold out there. Fuck that. So, as you can see here, I have two instrument clusters. This one is the original one out of the Fox, and it's got the clock, kind of ugly, not really fancy at all. And here's the one that I ordered. It's out of a 92 Jetta, I think it is. 158,000 miles on the clock. Fox only had 120, but I really don't care, whatever. And as you can see, it's got all the fancy shit. It's got a shift light. It's got a fuel mileage computer thing, whatever in it. And also, most importantly, has a tach. And that's what I'm most excited about. However, I was hoping it was going to be just a simple pull out the old one, plug the new one in, done, good to go. However, the Fox apparently has both this 14-pin connector and a 6-pin connector here, why the Jetta one has a 14-pin connector and another 14-pin connector, and they are different style connectors. I can't plug this one into this. It's different. So what I've been doing for the last few minutes or so is I'm playing around with the multimeter here and trying to determine where these pinouts go. I've got some sort of a wiring diagram here. Now this one is for the Fox as far as I can make out. Here's the 6-pin and here is the 14-pin for the Fox. I cannot find one for this Jetta instrument cluster, apparently because this is the VDO cluster, which it needs to be in order to work with the Fox computer, because this is the one off the Fox VDO. Anyway, there's no pinouts for it I can find anywhere. So I've been just testing things, trying to determine where to put stuff in. Because as you can see on the back, it's also not just as simple as swapping around the printed circuit board, because it's way, way different, unfortunately. So thus far, as you can see on the back of this, I don't know if you can see, there's not much light in here, or on the front here, we have some letters. Found out what they do, that this is upside down actually, and can't really turn it around the other way. Well, maybe I can. Hold on. Oh, look at that. That was easy. Focus. Focus. You filthy whore. You should be able to see that. Anyway, this T over here, upside down T, that turns out to be ground. The A doesn't go anywhere. It goes to a blank spot on the board, so don't have to worry about that one. The 15 is plus 12 volts, and the KL1 is the actual feed from the computer, or maybe it's the Hall effect on the motor. Not exactly sure how this works entirely yet, but that's the feed to actually tells the tach what to put the needle at. So we've got that written down here, upside down again, of course, and we'll be able to get that in. We're also going to have to do something about this right here. This is the actual little computer that figures out your miles per gallon based on a reading from the motor, which is a vacuum-fed reading. And by that, it can determine how much fuel you're using and then display it on the little LCD screen inside this cluster here. And there's no place for that on the old one. So we're going to have to do some finagling, maybe just a little bit of extra soldering and some wiring to make this work and mount it somewhere else under the dash there to get that to work. But it's coming along nicely. We've figured this out, and we should be able to get this to work. Okay, let me introduce you to my setup here. Actually, it's all done now. I couldn't really film it because, I mean, we're soldering. It's a two-hand job. Anyway, so yeah, these are all soldered up to hopefully where they should go. And again, it's all numbered, so ease of troubleshooting. Standard ATX connector here. And only one wire for that gauge actually comes for this 3-pin over here, or 6-pin out of the car. So that's all that needed. But these are all done up and ready to go. We got the thing there, the weather machine down there, all this good shit. And I'm sitting on a milk crate, of course, and I'm in my pajamas. Anyway, it's a tepid 20 degrees out here. And yeah, we should be ready to plug this in, connect the battery, and get to it. So let's get to it. Just connected the battery, and as you can see already, the digital clock has lit up. We're going to have to figure out how to set that somehow. Now again, I really have no idea what's going to happen here. We could blow the whole thing up. It could be hooked up wrong. I don't think it is, but it's very well possible. Somewhere along the line, whoever I got the schematic from could have fucked it up, and we could just fuck the entire thing up now. So we're going to go ahead, start her up, see what happens. Now I don't have the vacuum line hooked up for that MFA computer there. Oh, and it changed to a 1. It's working. I don't have that vacuum line for that MFA computer hooked up yet, so that's not going to work, but hopefully everything else should, if I can figure out a place to set this flashlight so it won't fuck up all the lighting, but you can still see what's going on. That looks like that might work. Okay, here we go. Ooh, we got the buzz. Fuck, that light is just... That'll work better, maybe? Got all of our warning lights, oil light, blinker lights all on. Okay, here we go. Okay. So our tach is still not working. All of our warning lights did go off though. Fuel gauge doesn't look like it's working. And yeah, no tach yet, unfortunately. Not sure what's going on there. Alright, so here we are, approximately 3 weeks later or so. I think I finally figured out, well, we have figured out, why the tach wasn't working. Apparently, this car shares the same computer, or same type of computer as a Corrado, which gives a digital feed to the tachometer instead of an analog feed, which the Mk2 Jetta and Golf get from the tach, or from the coil, to run the tach there. And so we've disconnected the tach wire here from the car and just ran it straight up and out to the front to the coil, the negative feed on the coil. Shit. And so I'm gonna have my assistant over here go ahead and touch the wire to the coil when we start it up. And there we go. Hell fucking yeah. We're in business, bud.